Previously on the Journey Chronicles, we captured how Elevation finally surmounted the wall the Nest kept throwing at him. Zadok had been his Waterloo at two critical points in his Nest history, but this time he had enough in his tank to not only survive the Zadok scare, but to also put Hanif, the champion of Season 1 Episode 1, to rest in the final. With 7 tickets taken, there was just 1 ticket left, and the dilemma was that 4 champions from Season 1 had so far failed to reach previous heights. Hanif, the champion of Season 1 Episode 1, Baji Jr., the champion of Season 1 Episode 2, Adefola, the champion of Season 1 Episode 3, and Zadok AI, the champion of Season 1 Episode 8. All had tried, but so far, Season 2's curveballs had found chinks in their armor, and the best case was that only one of these elite players could make the Night of Champions. And that remained a big probability because Season 2 had now introduced 3 new champions and a 4th could not be ruled out. With the last ticket to the Night of Champions up for grabs, it was now a Royal Rumble. A fight to the finish at the finish line. Registrations reached unprecedented height, 140 participants, but on the day, check-in closed at 77 participants. Of the 77, 3 were 2025 Team of the Season members. First was Hanif, the champion of Season 1 Episode 1. The second was Zadok, the champion of Season 1 Episode 8. And the third was Boyd, 2-time finalist in the Nest. Which of the 3 was going to clinch the final ticket? We asked the fans who they thought was going to win Episode 8. And the names came in: Zadok, Hanif, Guru, Tactical, Boyd, and Rhymes. The names were expected. Guru and Boyd were not only established names in the scene, but also past finalists in the Nest. Tactical and Rhymes were household names. But besides them, some names couldn't also be ignored. Sheni, a past semi-finalist, and Skylar, a past quarter-finalist, were making their return to the Nest. King Aras was probably looking to better his personal best of 4th place gotten in the previous episode, while Katisley was looking to rediscover the spark of Episode 5. Long and short, everywhere choke. Whatever the outcome was going to be, this episode was going to be war. And as soon as AI set the ball rolling, it was all guns blazing. As Boyd was decimating Snappy 11 with 6 unreplied goals, Guru was annihilating Komi unreplied. As Tactical was flogging Real Culture 7-0, Katisley was withdrawing 10 unreplied goals from Uncle ATM. The mentality was clear from the beginning. They were showing no mercy, ruthlessness from the get-go. Clear line in the sand. And to crown the group stage, AI pitted Tactical against Rhymes Bobo, and Tactical was just too much to handle on the day, with a disciplined 2-0 victory to end the group stage with 3 points. And then the tables came up. 25 first-timers came to the Nest. 19 were eliminated in the group stage. Toxic Grudu eliminated in the group stage with 1 point. King Arans, a semi-finalist in the previous episode, eliminated in the group stage with 4 points. Who would have thought? Afo saved this time by goal difference. Rhymes saved by goal difference. Skylar also saved by goal difference. If you ever needed a lecture on why you need to be ruthless from the beginning, this was it. 13 players finished the group stage with a perfect record. At the top of the table was Guru with perfect points. The semi-finalist of Episode 6 had now come to take the ticket he fell short of the last time, and he was absolutely destroying everyone on the way. He had just conceded 1 goal in 3 matches, just like Zadok, who also had conceded just 1 goal in his 3 wins. But 2 people had done even better in terms of keeping the opponent out. Gift, who played King Garans, and Tactical, who played Rhymes, had both not only gotten perfect scores, but conceded 0 goals in the process. Other notable names amongst those that finished with perfect scores were Hanif, past champion, Sheni, and protagonist, past semi-finalist. There were no first-timers amongst those that finished with perfect scores. Then the round of 32 came. This was supposed to be the round that rewarded a good performance in the group stage by pitting the supposed best of the 32 against the supposed weakest of 32, and the matches were rolled out. Gibbs Chidi was to face Rhymes Bobo. It was a crazy affair, and even though Rhymes landed the first breach in Gibbs Chidi defense all day, Gibbs had the last laugh in a victory that ended 2-1. Rhymes Bobo was eliminated in the round of 32 for the second consecutive tournament. But then we heard it. Anif had been knocked out. We first thought it was an error, but it was fact. He had lost 2-4 against Mitch level 10, whose best finish before now was the round of 16. What? This was crazy news. One past champion down from finalists in the previous episode to a round of 32 knockout in the next episode. As though that wasn't enough, we then found out Katisley had also been knocked out. The past finalist was knocked out by Lee, a first-timer in the nest. Wow. What kind of curveballs are these? 77 started, but it was now down to 16. Then King Arans pressed the button, and the figures came out. At the very top, Boyd versus Zadok, two 2025 Team of the Season members. One of them was go all. The journey must end here for one, and it was a main stage fixture. And Zadok was ruthless. In his 4 matches before now, he had only conceded once, and even against a fellow Team of the Season member, the gate of his post was shut. A 3-0 flawless victory that ended Boyd's episode 8 run. But then we heard about the upset of the tournament so far. Tactical had been knocked out, and he was knocked out by Focus in a 2-0 victory. And the more we looked, the more the upset continued to spring up. A first-timer, Lala the Chief, had knocked out Sheni, a past semi-finalist, in a 4-goal thriller that ended 3-1. Lala was now the only first-timer that made it to the last 8 in a tournament that started at 77. Then we learned that this was actually his first tournament, and then the call-outs started to happen. From Guru, his mentor, to Farouk, he was calling out everybody with confidence. And then Boyd pressed the button for the quarter-final fixture. And at this stage, it was just one 2025 Team of the Season left from the 3 that started. And the fixtures came out. Gift Chidi was to face Guru, a past finalist, and that was the main event. We asked the fans who they thought will win, and 71% said Guru. But what we witnessed was what even the 71% couldn't have conceived. It was a masterclass and controlled possession and game management from Gifts. As at halftime, Guru's expected goals was 0-1. For proper context, Guru is one of the best attacking players in the country. He literally won the Goldie Boot in his first attempt coming to the nest, and he was on course to winning another in this episode until he met Gifts. What we were witnessing was insane, for lack of a better word. And the masterclass ended at a 4-1 demolition, and Gift ended the run of another giant in the nest. But then, the news came in. Zadok had been knocked out by Lala the Chief. The first timer was now in the semi-final, and he had knocked out a past champion. What a day. What's that thing that we say again? Abeg, sure odds no dey Phoenix Nest. Now, 4 men were left. Only Gift and Focus had been at this stage before. Focus had been in the semi-final back in season 1 episode 3. Gift had been in the semis 3 times, with the last being in season 2 episode 1. But none of them had ever been in the final. Whatever happens, we were going to be having 2 finalists, and even more importantly, a new champion in the nest. The question was now, who will it be? Well, Skylar helped press the button, and AI did the pairing. Gift was to face Lala the Chief, while Focus was to face Gone with 40. This was Gone with 40's personal best in the nest. Before now, his best finish had been the quarterfinals, and that was in season 2, episode 3. Gift and Lala the Chief were on the main stage, and Lala must have thought he would avenge his mentor, who had just been massacred by Gift. But Gift wasn't having it. Whether mentor or mentee, nobody was escaping the wrath of his pad. It was a massacre, skilled, composed execution, and even though it was just 3-1, it was more about how he dominated his game. And for the first time, Gift Chidi was in the final, standing as one of the 2 players left in a 77-man tournament, conceding just 6 goals in 6 games, demolishing big names in the process. This just had to be his day. Then news from the other game came. Gone with 40 was in the final, repping the Egbeda Connect and achieving a personal best. Wow. Then we turned to the fans. Who did they think would win? And about 60% expected Gift to secure the ticket to the Night of Champions. But that final was something else. Gone with 40 with England versus Gift Chidi with Bayern. Both using 4-4-1-1, and Gift set the ball rolling and immediately tried to take advantage of the kick of glitch, but it was well defended by Gone with 40, and the counter-attack from that defending led to this.
And at the other end is this man Gone with 40. We're seeing that trigger as well. No! Defending him! He will the first goal! Jack Williams! It's ecstasy here in the nest!
And in the 19th minute, he was able to carve out another chance again. Old school rapid run down the line with his winger, and the resulting shot was saved by a well-positioned goalkeeper. So far, Gift has not been able to find his footing in this final, but knowing that time was still very much on his side, he did a quick tactical change. And the switch paid off on the very next play, as quick combination play led to a through pass to the already triggered winger, who was now left one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and Gift took no precedence. First shot, first goal. It's 24 minutes, 1-1. Game on. And Gone with 40 tried to leverage the kickoff glitch to create a chance of his own, but this was somehow missed. Wow. Hope he doesn't ruin that miss, but just 8 in game minutes after he burst through Gift's defense again. And this time it was GG's. There was no way he was going to miss 2 big chances consecutively. 32 minutes, 2-1, advantage, Gone with 40. His reaction to the lead was absolute composure. By this time, the fans' arena was euphoric. As the Egbeda Connect were over the moon, Gift had to find a way to maintain composure, and he launched another standard kickoff glitch. But the resulting attack was saved by the outstretched leg of the goalkeeper. But Gift didn't clear. The resulting corner was just more pressure, and the more pressure he mounted, the higher his chance of equalizing. And with some passes and a beautiful advanced roulette, Gone with 40's defense collapsed, and all that was left was a beautiful low-driven shot that hit the back of the net. 39 minutes, 2-2, game on. And no one could break the tie until the halftime. 45 minutes and both players remained inseparable. But in the 51st minute, Gift broke the tie. A fantastic byline run, cut back, and it was done. 3-2, advantage Gift. This was the very first time he was taking the lead. The question was now whether he could keep the lead or even better, extend it. And the chance to extend it came in the 60th minute.
Oh God! Oh no, it's Gitini again! No!
He had the chance to extend it, and he blew it. Damn, will he come to rue that miss? And the answer came 67th minute in games later, as Gone with 40 launched a counter-attack that was finished off by a beautiful volley from Declan Rice. Bedlam in the arena, Gone with 40 was back in the tie. 3-3. He was not going to stay down, and both of them kept trying to land the final blow, but the defenses have been on top. No major chance until 84th minute, and the chance fell to Gift. Quick transition play, and it was time to finish it, but again he missed the low-driven shot. Gone with 40 celebrates the save. Gift was in shock of the miss. Gift had missed the most chances today, and every miss seemed to be punished by his opponent a few minutes later. Gone with 40 had been ruthless, and with 6 in-game minutes left, can he punish Gift? And his chance to punish Gift came in the 89th minute.
Gone with 40, refusing to back down. Oh, and he the case. The last attack is last leader from this man. Gone with 40. Oh, gone with 40 and Leonard. Gone with 40. Gone with 40. Oh.
Gone with 40 misses. Both are squandered game-winning moments. But Gone with 40 looks at the camera and tells everyone to calm down. Then, the corner that resulted was played short.
Gone with 40 has a plan. Gone with 40 has a plan. Gone with 40 has a plan. He has a plan. Is this the end? He has a plan. Oh, will there be extra time on the clock? He has a plan. He has a plan. 40.
And there it was, a stab to the heart. No time to recover, no time for resuscitation. This was the death blow, the very last minute, the very last kick. Cruel, devastating. Gift was in shock. Gone with 40 over the moon. This is what dreams are made of. Who could have seen this coming? His best finish before now was the quarterfinals. Now he was here, punching the final ticket to the 2026 Night of Champions. Now he was standing here as the champion of Season 2, Episode 8. What a way to wrap up the season. What a way to begin the journey to the Night of Champions. Who could have seen it coming? All bets thrown out of the window, and the only thing that this reminds us of is sure odds, no day Phoenix Nest.